Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about top 5 fragrances that are overrated. So usually in those top 5 there are some fragrances that are like honorable mention, but I won't go with honorable mention. Really, a lot of it is subjective. So any fragrance in a way can be overrated. Some people, for example, with Creed Invictus, they will say, oh, it's overrated, it's overpriced. Some people will say it's best fragrance ever. And really, a lot of it lies between with the nose of the person, of each one of us, and also with our skin, where we put the fragrance. So I'm going to start with the top 5. And number 5, it's Invictus by Paco Rabanne. Why it's number 5? It's because a lot of people love this fragrance. A lot of people say, oh, it's amazing, it's one of the best fragrances. If you look on Twitter, at least in French Twitter and Francophone Twitter, you're going to see few fragrances that are coming up. It's Sauvage, Invictus, 1 Million, Le Mâle, and Bois d'Argent. And it's pretty much those 5 fragrances that everyone say they are the best fragrance in the world, that everyone love them and all. And with Invictus, I would say that it's a good fragrance. It smells nice, but it's not like crazy. It's not like mind-blowing, super complex. It's a simple fragrance that smells nice, that a lot of people like. And if you're looking for a compliment, it's a nice fragrance, but it's far from being the best fragrance. Personally, I think it's a bit boring. I got the intense version. I like it. I enjoyed it. I bought it like it was getting discounted where I bought it. It was just $20. So with the price, it was good. Also, there's so many people that take that kind of fragrance. You know, Aventus and Invictus are two kind of fragrance that everyone try to make their own version of it. And I feel like Invictus, there's a lot of company that made their own version that made something better than Invictus. A good example, it's Zara with Seoul Man Summer. I think it's 100 times better than Invictus. The little apple note, how it's made, lasts long, it's project pretty well. It's a beautiful fragrance, and it's a clone of Invictus that you can have cheaper. So I think it made its mark through the world of perfumery. Its marketing was really spot on, but as a fragrance, I think it's not as good as people say it is. It can be a nice fragrance to have if you want something versatile, or it's not even versatile, something to go out and meet people and just relax. It's super casual for me, that fragrance. It can be a nice fragrance for this, but it's not versatile. It smells good without being complex, without like bringing anything new. Nowadays, when it was launched, it's different. It brings something when it was launched, but now I think it's time that other fragrance take the lead. It's gonna happen. There's Sauvage that is now looked in a better way than Invictus. And I think there will be something else that will come up in the future, probably near future, a new fragrance that will be like the best fragrance ever. I think in the 2020 to 30 era, there will be a lot of movement in perfumery. And it's not because I try to guess stuff. It's because every decade there's something new, something that changed. If you look every decade before, there's always happen. So there's no way it's not gonna happen anyway. Now, number 4, it's Club de Nuit Intense Man by Armaf. And this one, seriously, I never smelled Aventus, and it's not just about Aventus itself. I don't care about Aventus. It's an expensive fragrance, so if you can afford it, it's great. If you can't, well, it's great also because there's a lot of version of Aventus. Why I say it's overrated is because everyone swear Everyone that like clones of Aventus, they swear by Club de Nuit en Semaine. Its following is so strong, they love it so much. When in fact, it's nice. It's I would like to say it's unique, but it's a copy of something else, so it's not really unique. But I mean, it's a copy of something that's unique. It's nice, it's versatile. I think really this one versus Invictus, it's actually versatile. It's really dividing. It's an interesting fragrance in a way, but it's not like crazy. I mean, it's a clone from another company, from another fragrance. It smells good, and there's a lot of other fragrance company that make clone of Aventus. It's just one between many other. It's a good one, but there's more option. I would say it's not bad. I like it. I have it. I own it. I love it. But I still think it has a little bit too much people that say that it's good. It's overrated. It's just a nice fragrance that will give you a unique vibe because some of the notes used there are not used usually. Project Well, it does a good job, but it's just a nice fragrance to have and get compliment. That's basically all it does. It doesn't revolutionize the world, just smell good. Next one, number 3, it's Dylan Blue. And why do I say Dylan Blue? I could put it higher on the list than number 3, but I don't think it get as much people that say, oh yeah, it's really good, it's nice. A lot of people do, but it's not like hyper overhyped like the two other ones that will come after. The thing is that for me, Dylan Blue, it's just some Sauvage alternative that have an aquatic opening that doesn't last long, that doesn't change anything, and the opening and the dry down, they don't fit together. I think it's a nice fragrance, but not that nice. It's not creating anything new. It's just trying to replicate what already exists and kind of make it its own way. I don't think it does a good job to it. Versace do a lot of nice fragrance, and they do a lot of bad stuff that they think that oh it's gonna sell, so they are gonna make it, and it's normal. I mean, it's a company; they need to make money. But I think even in perfumery and even in Versace, you can find better than Dylan Blue. Number 2, it's 1 million. And 1 million, I remember the first time I started to do research about perfumery, and in the end, I finished to buy Le Male. I remember I went to buy Le Male, and 1 million was a new fragrance that wasn't long that it went out on the market. And the person there offered me to try 1 million to see if I liked it. I remember it was kind of boring and not as good as Le Male. That was my impression in this time. And still now, a lot of people they swear by 1 million. They say it's the best fragrance. At least in the French community, it's pretty much the second most liked fragrance. I don't think it's so crazy. It's so good. I mean, 1 million privé is good. It's nice. It has something good to show. But the original 1 million, it's a clubbing fragrance. Paco Rabanne, it's the second Paco Rabanne on the list, and it's the only company that will have two fragrances. And I think Paco Rabanne are good in marketing, and that's why people like their fragrance because they're good in marketing. When you smell three fragrances in your life, and there's three you can identify, well, it's easy to have one of those three your favorite. If you try, let's say, Invictus, 1 million, Sauvage, well, you're gonna say one of those three are the best, and all the other two are really good, and then you won't have a clue about the other one. I think this is what's going on. Those companies are making sure that people only try their stuff and that they like it, they think it's nice, and they don't go for something else. And in the end, it makes those fragrances get a lot of hype when in reality, there's a lot of other fragrances that are a better alternative. But still, it's a nice fragrance. It's not really my style, but really what I said about marketing and everything, I feel it's true about this fragrance. It's not that it's crazy, amazing, really good fragrance. No, it's a normal fragrance that could compete with other normal fragrance, but it's not mind blowing. It doesn't deserve to be called one of the best fragrance ever. You know, even if you look at Invictus, Invictus at least created something. Like every fragrance company want to have their piece of Invictus. I rarely hear people nowadays launching new fragrance that compete with 1 million. I think it's at the time it was nice. I think it's a bit like in an older era. We're not in that clubbing fragrance era anymore, and that's people they just don't get it. Some people they don't see it, and that's why it's overrated. And number one, it's Sauvage by Dior. And I don't want to bash on Sauvage because a lot of people love it, but for me, I don't even get why. I mean, no, I get why. It's again marketing. People are the company that made Sauvage, well, Dior. What happened is they wanted to make a perfume that was a big hit, like Eau Sauvage by Dior, and they brought the marketing team to say, okay, we need to make a new fragrance that everyone will love, that will sell like crazy, and they created Dior. And then they hired people to make the fragrance. This is what actually happened, and I'm not saying it's bad. Pretty much every fragrance, if you look at Zara's fragrance, pretty much what's gonna happen with them. A lot of company, that's what they do because their company they want to make money. They think about the marketing before, and it's okay. But Sauvage, the fragrance is not up to the quality they are showing. They show that it's an amazing fragrance. They wanted to do a new Eau Sauvage. I've never smelled Eau Sauvage, but I can imagine somehow it was really different, in fact, than what Sauvage is right now. Now Sauvage is pretty much musk and cashmerean, or galaxolite and cashmerean, I should say, with other some stuff in the background. And I mean, it's easy to do. Yes, it smells nice, but I mean, anything that has musk smells nice. I want to do one day a review of Javan Musk. I never smelled Javan Musk, but I see it all the time when I want to buy stuff for like shaving and stuff in Walmart. And one day I will buy this fragrance and do a side by side review with Sauvage. And I'm pretty sure that Javan Musk would be better, even though it's like 10 times less or something. Not 10 times, but you know, it's way cheaper than Sauvage. Another bad thing about Sauvage is that people say it's project like crazy, it stays like crazy, but I'm pretty sure those people either they heard about it and they're saying it, or they are putting it on their clothes, which will make the fragrance last longer, or they have some skin chemistry that makes it really project like crazy. For me, I try it. It doesn't project. It doesn't last long. It's one of the fragrance I own. I only have a little like sample that I was given, and I would never buy this fragrance because it doesn't project. It doesn't last long. It's the one fragrance that project the less long I ever had, and lasted as less, and that really lasted the less long. I think that part is going to be a bit hard to understand, but anyway, I'm sure you get it. For me, Sauvage is a bad fragrance, and it's only marketing. This is why it's number one. 1 million is a good fragrance. It has a lot of marketing. It's not a crazy good fragrance, not a mind blowing fragrance, but it's still a good fragrance. Sauvage, I don't think it's a good fragrance. I would take a couple of bottle. I could make another Sauvage as long as I have the marketing team behind me. And if you love Sauvage, I'm sorry. And the only Sauvage that I tried is the Eau de Parfum. So I'm not talking so much about the Sauvage Eau de Toilette or the Parfum, even though I would assume that it's still pretty much Galaxolide and Cashmeran. The I mean, most fragrance has Galaxolide inside of it. This one it's like super heavy, the smell of Galaxolide, and there is Cashmeran absolutely because the smell that's distinctive of Sauvage, which is citron pepper, is actually Cashmere. So this is my top 5 most overrated fragrance. If you have any opinion, if you agree or if you disagree, write it in the comment. So hope you enjoyed this video. If it's the case, we'll like and share. And thanks for watching and see you soon.